Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
The emerging market currencies of Europe would be crushed. If you want, from a percentage standpoint, in a major risk move, the U.S. dollar rallies, the emerging markets of Europe get hit extremely hard, followed by the commodity currencies and followed by the euro in general.
And then we'll probably see some sort of casualties in the markets, people that are over-leveraged somewhere, right? We always see that, Jack. Markets move so far, somebody probably has some bad positions in something, and if the market makes a big move, someone will probably be hurt.
No doubt about it. And then you also have the idea, just forgetting about all those other things, we know that people have been borrowing dollars in order to invest in these other markets because the interest rates have been so low. So you have that other kicker there. That's why it could be so powerful in a risk move. If it's a growth move, I think the Euro pack gets hit the hardest in general.
Mike has a question for me, and he says, will the ISE ever offer options on exotic pairs like the British pound and Japanese yen? Well, when you use the word ever, I have to say yes. Will it be in the next 3 months? The answer would be no. We are really trying to build up the suite of the dollar-based products, and we want to see more and more volume. We're starting to see some, but we really don't want to cannibalize that with cross pairs. And I know that the pound yen is popular, and there's a lot of them that are popular, euro yen, whatever. But right now, we're just concentrating on the Brazilian real. We think is a great offering for us, and I think you agree, Jack.
I do. I do. I think the currency is going to continue to improve in liquidity and in interest.
I think that might be. Would that be right with the Australian dollar then? Is sort of the one that's going to move the most when the economies are good?
I think so. I think it could. I mean, you have less liquidity in general in the Brazilian real. It's going to tend to move more, but it's going to move in the same direction. I think they will track pretty closely from a correlation standpoint.
Thanks. All right, I want to give everyone another moment or two. If you have any other questions for Jack, this is one other question. Lydia says, what do you think about the Australian dollar, U.S. dollar? And again, I'm going to have just show you that symbol, that, right? That symbol is AUM. I just want to make sure that you can trade that. That is something new. Remember, we've only been trading these for about 3 months now, the Aussie U.S. dollar, and they were very, very popular because a lot of you trade in the spot market. But so Lydia says, Jack, what do you think of AUM? Do you think it will continue to retrace, reverse?
Well, it's just it would only be obviously my guess here.
Obviously, you don't know for sure. No, we never know anything for sure. And Jack's just taking a stab at this.
I tend to think, if you look from a technical standpoint, boy, it sure looks like the Aussie's topping in here on some type of intermediate term standpoint. And again, that was another currency in the commodity pack in general. We were watching from a correlation standpoint. Even though gold made a new high, the Aussie couldn't do it. Even though stocks made a new high, the Aussie couldn't do it. The Reserve Bank of Australia raised interest rates. The Aussie couldn't make a new high.
Great point.
And China came out with some huge manufacturing numbers, and the Aussie couldn't make a new high. So in general, we think it's due for a decent correction in here over the next couple months.
It's back to the old stock market adage: sell the good news, right? Buy the bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You couldn't have had any better news than that, right, Jack? You just cited 2, 3, 4 things that were amazingly good. And if you look back at the charts, in fact, I'd all urge you to go to your Australian U.S. dollar chart and take a look what Jack was saying. Jack, when do you think that came out? The last 2 or 3 weeks, right? One after the other?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and you'll notice that it was basically in a consolidation period that we might find to be a top. We don't know it for sure, as Jack was pointing out, but if you believe in that, and if it was a top, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. And of course, if it's going to go higher, there'll be opportunities there also. Jack, why don't you have a closing comment, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, again, my only closing comment, well, first, just thank you very much. I appreciate everybody, taking time and the great questions again. I enjoy this a lot because it forces me to think. I don't want to, and it's very good for me. And hopefully you get something out of it too. But I just say try and think of baskets, and again, think of this idea. You want to get in the right currency basket, so to speak, or group of currencies based on the environment. Doesn't always make it. You can't always get the environment right, but when you do, and you can narrow down that basket, you're going to increase your odds of making money longer term in these markets. And so I think that's the advantage of this. It's no holy grail, but I do think it helps your thinking, and it will help your returns over time.
Well, Jack, one thing I want to say is thank you for everything you've done in 2009, because this will be your last. So I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that stuff, because we only have one more at the ISC, and that'll be on the 15th. But Jack has done, I don't know how many. He's done tons of them. I learn something new every day. And like Jack says, we're not going to know if we should buy or sell something in the next millisecond. But if you start to gain some knowledge, some information, you'll start to see the scale tip to whatever your view is. And that maybe creates a spot for a trade, and everyone's own personality traits may be a little bit different. So, Jack can't say, buy this, sell that. It's going to be based on your own goals. But, if you look at the charts, if you look at fundamentals, or hopefully you do a bit of both, you'll decide when it's right for you. These currencies, and you know this, they tend to move in trends for at least, I traded stocks for many, many years, and I feel currencies actually seem to go a little bit longer in trends than equities in general. So there might be opportunities out there in 2010. We're almost done with 2009, although you might find a trade tomorrow or next week that might set you off for 2010. So, Jack, I just want to say thank you very, very much for everything you've done here for the ISC in 2009. I want to wish your family a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and wish you the best in 2010.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Same to you.
Thanks. I want to remind everyone that Market Guys will be our final webinar, and they'll be talking about profiting in any market condition using FX options. That'll be on December 15th. So that's our final one in 2009. And please come back. You can always go back to the archives, learn more, and sign up for the future webinars. We have lots to offer. In fact, we're going to start at Back to Basics. You'll see that my name there on January 20th. I'm going to go back and talk about what is an option and, which strike prices to trade and so on and so on. So that'll be a sequential, if you will, series, and that'll start on January 20th. But plenty of other webinars prior to that. But again, Jack, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great night. So I want to wish everyone a nice evening. On behalf of the ISC, this is Steve Meisinger saying thank you so much for attending, and hopefully you'll be back next week, our final webinar of 2009 with the Market Guys on profiting in any market condition using FX options. Good night, all.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.